Hello. So, Have you ever wondered how do large companies assess talent? And if you are working in, let's say, Google or Microsoft, do you know how do those companies assess talent, and how do you get graded in those companies? Welcome to the nine box grid, which is the most commonly used HR tool to assess talent in an organization. Now, my name is Sandeep, and I'm an HR professional with over 15 years of work experience. I've been doing several roles in HR, and finally, I quit my job as the head of HR for British Telecom, which is one of the largest telecom operators in the UK. And I wanted to talk to you today about nine boxing guidelines. And most of you guys who worked in corporates or who have not worked in corporates at various levels don't understand how corporates really take time to assess their talent. And what I mean by talent is that every corporate has two grids of assessment of an individual. One grid is a performance. Performance is what you do every day. So if you're doing a great job, good stuff. If you're a coding professional and you're writing your codes properly, good job, great job. That's performance. So you would be graded against your peers, and the best amongst the best gets the best of the deals. Gets the best of the compensation increases. But when it comes to potential, potential is a very different gamut, and there are several factors which come into potential of an individual. And what this grid helps you to do is to identify your performance and potential of the individuals in your team, and you map them into various buckets here on a scale of high, medium, and low. And as you will notice, there are nine boxes here, and that is why it is called nine boxes. And this is graded on two scales. So the y-axis is the potential, and x-axis is performance, which is also your contribution. So let's say you have a team of five members, okay, and I want you to think about it as a manager here. What you what you're going to do is you are going to plot your team's basis their performance in the X chart. So somebody who's high on performance, or your performance rating, starts off at the top of the grid, and somebody who's on an average or a medium scale starts up at the middle of the group, and somebody who's at lower end starts at the lower end of the scale. And potential, which is kind of slightly difficult one to nail, but what potential means is the ability of an individual to take on the next level of role. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are doing a great job at your current job, which is what performance is. And potential also means the aspiration of an individual to take on the next level of role. So let me give you an example. So let's say you are a technologist and you love coding. Now you've been coding for the last 6 years, and the management feels that you are ready to move to the next level, which is to become a team lead. Now, a team lead will not necessarily have to code all the while. He may have a limited amount of scope of coding, but that might be 10, 20, or 30% of the job. The rest of the time might be managing the team, motivating the team, doing project management, looking at the scope of the projects that come up, and assign tasks to each team member. Well, these might be things that might excite some people, might not excite others. So, while I might give you the potential to become a team leader, there might be some of you who might want to remain a technical person till you can because you love doing coding. And that's what I mean by potential. So, potential means that you are moving to the next level of role, which requires you to take on different kinds of responsibilities, which also needs to be in your liking. And that's a difficult challenge to gauge for each individual in an organization. because the requirement of becoming the CEO of an organization is going to be very different from what you require to become a junior technical person. But both of them might have started off on the same grade. So what you do is you plot your individuals based on this group, and the top end of the group is your stars, the leaders. So somebody who's got very high performance, he's a star in your team. He also has great potential to take on the next role. Then you have somebody who has medium potential but is high on performance. So the grade number two, these are high performers who are important to the organization and are capable of taking larger roles. The future leaders are the ones from where your next lot of talent would come from. So these could be, your talent pool for the CEO's role, or the MD's role, or for the next VP's role, and so on and so forth. The high performers are the ones who would take on larger role, who are not yet there as stars, would need some more time. And then you could have low on potentials and high on performance. So these could be the ones who don't want to do the job. It's not necessarily that you are not good at it. You're great at coding, but you don't want to become a technical lead or a team lead because you don't like to manage teams. You don't like to have teams under you and you'll have to manage the performance. So you don't have to do that. So those come into high performance but low potential. So these are like niche guys, experts on particular area, very good with their job, but they don't want to move into next level. Okay. Now none of these things should directly correlate with compensation, and these should remain separately for this exercise. So if you look at the grid 3, these are people who have medium performance and they have high potential. So these are people who have potential, but their learning curve is still not up to the mark. So they are getting ready for the next assignment. So the ones on the green blocks, these are the guys that you should clearly have a watch on. Have a very strong personal development plan for these guys, because these guys are your next level of talent. The guys on the gray grade, that's your 6, 5, and 4. And by the way, 6 is high on performance. Sorry, it's high on potential, but it is low on performance. And that means not necessarily because they are underperformers, that means they are too new to the job. But those are ones whom you'll have to keep a close watch and give them coaching, development, so on and so forth. And then the final ones are the ones who are lagging. So somebody who needs coaching in your team, he falls into the medium potential and low on performance. There are guys who have low performance and low potential. These are definitely the guys who need to be coached and or moved out of the organization. So that's the grade for 9 box. And what you do is you take this data and then you plot them into these 3 categories, and then you look at these categories from the point of view of category 1, which is 1 2, which is the 1 2 and 3 in the previous chart, and then you have category 2, which is 4 5 6, and category 3, which is 7 8 and 9. So you plot them in these 3 categories and you ask these questions. So question number 1 for the category is, are they developing the right skills? Are you moving them fast enough? Because if you're not going to move them fast enough, they might quit and go. Because these are highly ambitious guys. Somebody who's high on performance and high on potential, he's not going to stick around if you're going to give him the same growth path that you would give to somebody who's on a medium trajectory. So you have to constantly coach him, give him responsibility, maybe not in your team but outside of your team, because if you don't give him that opportunity, he or she will move out of the organization or somebody will grab them. Are they at the right rate? Are they happy? Very, very, very close watch team. Category two are the ones where you feel and ask them, are they right for, are they doing the same, are they good fit for the job, and what will make the difference in the performance? So what can you give them additionally to make the performance better, and are you willing to invest in them, so on and so forth. And of course, category three is your problem area. You don't want those guys to be there. Either they move up the value chain or they move out of the organization, because these are the ones who are going to demotivate the rest of the group. Somebody who's on a high will definitely get demotivated by somebody who's on a medium, and the medium will get demotivated by somebody who's on the low, because they might feel that the other person is also getting the same deal for lesser value. So you have to be very careful with that. I would encourage you to lot your team members in this grid and see for yourself, and then go and discuss this with your line manager. Your line manager will be quite happy to see that you're starting to look at potential and performance in a scientific manner, and this is how performance management is done in a large organization. Hope you like this video. If you like such videos, please do not hesitate to subscribe to me, and thank you very much for your time.